So, namaste everyone. Sorry for the technical problem. Today we are going to talk on a very important topic, which is money, and this concerns all of us. Money is simply the currency with which we exchange our goods and services. That's it. Money is the currency with which we exchange our services and goods. While wealth is our ability to experience various facets of life. So wealth is ability to fully experience our life is called wealth. So money is only one part of the wealth. So this definition was given by Henry David Thoreau, our one of the greatest philosophers. So we mixed up money with the wealth. Money is only the currency, while the wealth is different experiences through which we can get the complete experiences in life. The money. So we mixed up these two things, money and wealth. So let us see how we can entangle that. So we will go to our greatest Acharya, Acharya Shankaracharya, who explains about money, what money is. So in Bhaj Govindam there is a beautiful verse that is Acharya says, Artham anartham bhavaya nityam na tad asti sukha lesa satyam putradapi dhana bhanja viti sarvatresa vihitariti. So if we go word by word, then artham anartham. So Acharya says that artha means money in Sanskrit. Artha means something which is worth having. Artha which is something we seek after. So artham, Acharya says artham anartham means it is not worth going after. So artham means something valuable. Acharya says artham anartham means it is not valuable, it is harmful on the contrary. So artham anartham bhavaya nityam. Acharya says that you meditate, you contemplate that money is not something that we have to go after. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam. Why? Na tadasti sukha lesa satyam. In that, the truth is that there is not an iota of happiness. The sukha satyam. Putrad api dhana bhanja viti. Even from the children, putrad api dhana bhanja viti sarvatresa vihitariti. Even from the own children, the wealthy man is afraid. So artham anartham. So money is not something which is worth pursuing. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam na tadasti sukha lesa satyam. So this is the truth. Why the Acharya says that? Because the money brings trouble at every stage. There is a trouble in acquiring it. For that you study and spend so many years, either to get professional or you have to get training. So many years are spent. Then if you are lucky, then you get a good job, then you make money. And so many significant efforts are required for that. Once you get money, then there is it brings with it the anxiety. So money, you are worried about losing it. You are worried about increasing it. So you are concerned about multiplying it. So that these are the characteristics of money. As soon as the money comes, you want to preserve it. So you are afraid that you will lose it. Then you have a desire to increase that. So you want to invest it and multiply it. Then money is never brings satisfaction with it. The characteristic of money, peculiarity, is the money brings with it dissatisfaction. No amount of money is enough. No? And money, another thing it brings is the greed. So whatever you have, you feel that it is not enough and you want more. So in acquiring there is a difficulty, in preserving there is a difficulty. Then you get tempted to invest it in various instruments to increase it. If your friend is getting 4% interest, somebody recommends you 7% interest, you want to go there. Then if somebody tells you 15% interest, then you are tempted to go there. So that's how we end up with the people like Bernie Madoff. So this is the characteristic of money which we are not aware about it. So difficulty in making it, difficulty in keeping it, our desire which comes with it to increase it, to multiply it, and wanting more. So that's why Acharya says that this money does not bring any happiness. So it is the happiness and peace of mind is not what money brings. Money only is useful for your comforts. Money can only buy certain things. So money is one of the 5 different the facets of wealth. So Acharya says that don't go after money. Then so yes, hello.
Mayaji, please mute yourself. Thank you. Siddharth.
Then Acharya says in the beginning of Bhaj Govindam, there Acharya says, Mood jahi danagam trishna, kuru sat buddhim manasi vitrishna, yam labse nija karmo patam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. So Acharya says that Acharya calls as mood, and means somebody who is confused or somebody who has delusion about certain things. So mood jaihi danagam trishna. So Acharya says, give up the thirst for money, craving for money. That is what is bothering you. Mood jaihi danagam trishna, kuru sat buddhim manasi vitrishna. Fill your intellect with a sat, what is permanent and what is real, the real goal. Guru Sat Buddhim Manasi Vitrishna, and by doing so, just get rid of that Trishna for money. So Acharya doesn't say that throw away money. So Mood Jahi Danagam Trishna Guru Sat Buddhim Manasi Vitrishna Yat Labse Nicha Karmo Patam. Wherever I have put you and whatever the profession I have given you, God says that through that, honest means you, whatever you make, vittam tena vinodaya chittam. With that wealth, you rejoice and you make yourself happy with that. So be contented with whatever you can make through your profession or whatever your station is in life, and through that have satisfaction. But only going after money for the sake of money, which is called Trishna or greed, will cause you restlessness and robs you of the peace. Money is important. Acharya doesn't say money is not important. Money is as important as water for human life, because money provides you clothing, shelter and food. These are 3 basic requirements of every human body. Besides that, it cannot do you anything. No amount, how much amount you have, we think that money will bring security and happiness as it increases, but it is not so. Really speaking, we were seeking after wealth, not money. Wealth has wisdom. Wealth will bring peace, happiness and joy. So there are 4 types of wealth that the philosophers have described. One is a financial wealth, that is money. Another one is a physical wealth or your health. Third one is social wealth or presence of a loving people in your life, loving friends, loving company, loving the siblings. So that is a social wealth. Fourth one is a time, or you need a time. So time is to enjoy your life. So time means freedom to use your time wherever I want, whoever I want with, whenever I want. I should be able to use my time. So that freedom. So these four things are that. One is financial wealth, social wealth, then availability of time. That brings a complete joy or satisfaction in life. Not only four, the fifth one, Lord Krishna never talks about money in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna puts all these different desires as your in lumps into one. That is a calm. So God says, get rid of your desires. No? So for highest achievement. No? So that is a, but these four are important in our day-to-day life to have it complete. No? So so financial, social, time is important for you to enjoy, and health. If you don't have a good health, then no amount of money is enough. We all know that. So health is wealth. We all talk, but very few people have grasped that, at the essence. We sacrifice health for money, we sacrifice family for money, we sacrifice social context for money, we sacrifice everything for money. So that's why Acharya says, Mood Jahi Dhanagama Trishna, Guru Sat Buddhim Manasi Trishna. So that's what we have to do. But money is very, very important. Acharya knows that. But the thirst of money or hankering for money, that is what Shankaracharya says, that don't get rid of that one. So same thing Sant Kabir says, Sai itna dijiye jame kutumb samay, मैं भी भूखा ना रहूं साधु न भूखा जाए. Means give me enough so that I am comfortable and I can live life peacefully and with the honest means. But Sant Kabir also says, give up the Trishna. So Kabir says very nicely, जो तेरा नहीं है उससे तू छोड़ दे. Whatever you don't have, उसको छोड़ दे. How can you do that? What you don't have, how can you give up? Yes, that means the desire, the thirst for money, you give it. So understand the peculiarities of the money, and that we cannot see clearly, and that is why it is called delusion. So these are the five different things we need, and the spiritual wealth is the wealth by which you will seek the higher yourself, or God realization or self realization. Because we all wanted happiness and peace, that only is available once you realize yourself and you have other good qualities like satisfaction and contentment and fulfillment in life. So God doesn't want you to give up all the desires. No. God wants to give up egocentric desires, your selfish desires. So selfish desires and egocentric desires, which we thought that we can fulfill by tracking money, that is wrong. That is what you bring to halt. And if you can do that, then you will be able to use the time, because we all have limited time. So the time is very finite time we have. So one has to be very careful about health. One has to be very careful about the other components, the social life and the love and you get from your loved ones, and satisfaction what you get from your profession. So Acharya says that after that he immediately recommends, so what do you do? So the Acharya tells in Bhagavad Govindam, these all three slokas are in Bhaj Govindam. So in Bhaj Govindam, the Acharya says, Geyam Gita Nama Sahastram, Deyam Sripate Rupam Ajastram, Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam, Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam. Means start your spiritual journey. Means Acharya, who has written so many books and on all the scriptures, he has given commentaries, recommend Bhagavad Gita. So Geyam Gita Nam Sahastram, Deyam Sripate Rupam Ajastram. Have your goal as Sripate, means Lord, as your ultimate goal. There's a God realization or self realization, same thing. No? So Deyam Sripate Rupam Ajastram. Niyam Sajjana Sangye Chittam. How would we do that? By keeping the company of the nice people, the one who are seeker, one who have values in life. Such people, that's called satsang. So Niyam Sajjana Sangye Chittam. And then Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam. And then if you are blessed to have plenty, then you spread it for the people who do not have it. So Geyam, Deyam, Neyam, Deyam. If you do these four things, then the life becomes complete, and you will have the satisfaction in your life. So not only by amount of money, because there is no boundary that okay, that 100,000 is enough, or 500,000 is enough, or million is enough. No. So somebody defined very nicely that what is poverty and what is riches. When your needs are more than your wealth, then you are poor. When your wealth is much more than your needs, then you are rich instantaneously. So once your basic needs are met, then the excess money is not going to bring you proportional happiness in life. So and it will rob you of your important time with your family, with your friends, and whatever you really want to do. So that's why the running after money is of no significance. But God doesn't say that don't make money. Vedas and Upanishads says that make money. There is no problem with that. So in Atharva Veda it says that oh man, make lot of money just way with your 100 hands, and with that money do the excellent deeds with 1,000 hands. Say if I am a factory owner, or if I am a big employer, 100 people are working, I am using their life energy. So they produce the wealth. God says nothing wrong with that. Become as big as you want. But that wealth, you use it with 1,000 hands. And the people who don't have it. So you are an intermediary. If you are selfish and if you are going to take money and sit on it and don't use it or don't give it to anybody, that is not what God wants. So that is egocentric desires. No. Divine desire. We can never live without desire, even if we try, because that is, it just comes from somewhere. We don't know. So desires are produced. That is a function of Maya. So desires that comes up. Even the thoughts come up in our head. It is not under our control. If it was under control, then we will never have bad thoughts. So these desires, that's why God says you curtail your desires. You know that this is what is causing you the problems. But you cannot annihilate desires totally. You cannot be an actionless man. So God wants you to be extremely busy without selfish, egocentric desires. So you have to sublimate your selfish desires into divine desires. Once you do it, you can be very wealthy and use the money, for good. So because the wealth has no other purpose, only three things can happen to wealth. One is either you use it for good cause and for the society and do a lot of good things, or you enjoy yourself. God says enjoy yourself, spend money as much as you want. Maybe by that you also people will benefit. If you spend money, 20,000, 30,000 on vacation, that will also do some good to the people where you live, in the hotel, to the other people, but it's a very indirect way. The best way, God says that that share with others. And if you rightfully make money and share with others, God says your supply will be will be plentiful. I will take care of your supply. So it's money, only three things can happen. So dana, bhoga or nasa. Or otherwise, no, the government will take it, in the different forms, the wealth tax and long-term gain and short-term gain, whatever name, but they will take it. Or you will go. So that is useless. That's why Acharya says money is not something you go after and give up your other main goals. What was the main goal? Main goal was the self-realization or God realization. We got derailed. This money is an instrument. It is a means to reach God. So health, your life energy is to have the self-realization. Self-realization, why? So that you are happy and satisfied at any state in your existence. You don't have to have certain amount of wealth to be happy and peaceful. So wherever you are, if your needs are less than your resources, then you are fine. So we have to see that our needs don't go like crazy. So when the luxuries become necessity, we falsely call it as a progress. So our needs, if they are reduced, so then at any level you can be happy, because it is the contentment, self satisfaction, and the basic needs. That's what you need, and you need time. So you are buying this out of these 5 areas of wealth. You are buying them. So money is only 20%, so 1/5 of these 5 things. While we made it 100%. So some people sacrifice their family, some people sacrifice their health, everything for money. That is very wrong. So money is essential. If you have a lot of money, then Dadaji used to say to Pandurang Shastri Athavale that in the society, these divine forces and financial forces should coexist, because material achievement without divine achievement becomes monstrous, while divine achievement without material resources is weak. And if you have plenty of money but spiritually you are zero, then you are dangerous, on the contrary. So wealth without divinity is monstrous. That's what Dadaji Pandurang Shastri Athavale used to say. So to summarize, money is important, but money only give up the thirst for the money. So hankering about money or wanting more and more. So greed is very dangerous. That's why it says that is Trividam narakasya idam dvaram nasanam atmana kama krodha tatha lobha tasmat etam trayam tajet. Therefore Lord Krishna says you give up these 3 things, these 3 gates which take you to downfall: kama krodha tatha lobha tasmat etam trayam tajet. While Upanishads teach you that etat tayam sikset, tayam etat sikset. These 3 you learn. What? That is daya, dana, so dhamma, danam, daya. So dhamma means you control your senses, that you don't get a desire that okay, I want 4 Mercedes standing in my garage. So that kind of phony desires you get rid of. So that is controlling yourself. Dhamma, dana, and daya. And daya means compassion. So these 3 you learn, says Upanishad. And other 3 you give up. Sikset trayam, tyajet trayam. So if you do that, then you are in a very balanced, peaceful state of mind. And then whatever the life force God has given you, time, God has given you life, God has given you health, these you can use to the best advantage. and that is what our scriptures and our great masters want us to do. Not only just running after money for the sake of money, which has caused a tremendous problem at individual level, at society level, and we have to come out of this delusion. But it illusive power of Maya is so powerful that this understanding we are not ready to grasp it. So even with the Acharya says that we are not ready to believe that, okay, artham, anartham, what is that? As money is dangerous or worthless per se. But at the same time, he says that the thirst of money, greed, is the dangerous part, and give up that. So this is what, in short, is about money. If you have any questions, we can go over that. This is a very big subject, and we can go on each one separately on this, but just ask any question. So we have to follow great masters, and then you will have get peace of mind. So that's why Lord Krishna says in Vivek Chudamani, Acharya says that vasana praksayo moksha, annihilation of all your desires is liberation instantaneously here. Here he showed how to do it. So don't run after money and give up the thirst and greed of money. And this you have to fix it in your mind, because just somebody telling you we are not going to get enlightened and start believing from tomorrow. But this is something, that's why he says contemplate on this idea. He says that, and that will take you to the real wisdom, and that is wealth is called wisdom, which will bring lot of joy to you. Okay, namaste.